We'll go ahead and get started. This is Sue Peterson from the Michigan District of Kiwanis, and I'm glad you're all with us this evening. I know our numbers will continue to increase as we go along, but please share this link with our friends. Actually, we prefer that they register for us. But so tonight we have with us Bryce from Kiwanis International. But before Bryce starts his presentation, I want to kind of give you an update about where we're going and what's happening. So I want to review the schedule. Next week on Thursday, December 7th, Bryce will be back with us to talk about cybersecurity. On Thursday, December 14th, Brad Boyd and I are going to do a show on simple service projects that clubs can do. I often get questions about what kind of service projects are there out there that are simple. We first started talking about things to do in the winter, but we're going to try to put together some other service project, just some information for you at that point. We will take December 21st and the 28th off so that we can have the holidays, give everybody some break there. And then we'll be right back on January 4th. 2024, our first program on January 4th on that Thursday will be the role of the Kiwanis International Board. So we will talk about the board and their responsibilities, specifically for our candidates and for anybody else who may have an interest in being a member of the Kiwanis International Board in time, but we're going to talk about that. On January 11th and January 18th, we will have the vice president candidates will be with us those 2 weeks, so that we have plenty of time to ask the candidates questions. And on January 25th and February 1st, we will have the trustee candidates. So we're booked through February. I've got a few more programs out there that we're working on getting scheduled, but we will continue those programs. We also will bring back the dues program and have another session where people can ask questions about dues and the proposed increases or increase, I should say, that will be coming up for our Denver convention. And I'm working on some of the education components on membership as well. So we'll keep them going. So as a reminder, all of our videos after they're on tonight, tomorrow, will be placed on the Michigan District of Kiwanis YouTube page. I am also sending that link to everybody that has registered for this program to them directly, so that you can share that as well. And anybody can watch them. They're about 50 minutes long. So if you're, want to spend time and go through it so that you can show parts of it to your club, feel free to do that. But we are working on coming up with some sort of shorter sessions so that we can have some club programs. Additionally, if you have questions for the candidates that you would like us to ask, whether for the vice presidents or for the trustee candidates, you can send them to kiwanisleaders@gmail.com, and I will actually put that email in this video at the end so that you have that information there. And then if you have any questions that you would like to or propose programs or ideas, please let us know what you are interested there. I'll put that in the video and in the next email. The other thing that we're working on is coming up with some 7-minute podcasts, so that I've reached out to a number of people already and said, hey, we just want to do 7 minutes on leadership or 7 minutes on being a club president or being a club secretary, just as a way to keep that communication out there and have that available all the time. So once that gets going, we'll start sharing that information. I see our international president-elect is with us. Lee Kwan Yong is out there, and I know there are several members from the board with us tonight, so that I don't miss anybody, because you're now on 3 screens on my computer. We won't call anybody out so we don't mess that up. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Bryce. Bryce is with Kiwanis International. Many of you know Bryce when he was working in the membership or membership services area. That's the best way to put it. But now Bryce is working as member experience, and he is going to talk to us today about the Kiwanis Club websites. So with that, I'll turn it over to Bryce.
Thanks, Sue. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for allowing me to be with you tonight. We thought it was a good idea to kind of talk about one of the great resources that Kiwanis International can offer your clubs. And it's particularly timely because of some things that are going on with some third-party providers that that you partnered with in the past. And so I'm sure many of you are probably attending because of that. And we definitely want to be able to provide you answers as part of that. But as Sue indicated, Many of you I've worked with in the past. In my prior role as member services manager, I've been with the organization for 21 years and was in member services for all but a year of that or so. And then earlier this calendar year, I transferred into a role with the information technology team of Kiwanis International. And so my position currently is member experience technology engineer. Now that's a long-winded way of saying basically that I sort of serve as an a advocate for members from a technology standpoint. So the technology that Kiwanis International creates for you, we always want to come at it from a standpoint of what serves our members and our leaders best. And so I'm using my experience with assisting you and your clubs from the member services side to kind of segue that into how we support you from the technology standpoint. And so, again, that title is just a long way of saying I'm kind of your advocate from that standpoint. So tonight we're going to talk about the club and district website product that Kiwanis International can offer your clubs, foundation, and districts as part of that. Some of you may be familiar with the fact that we offer the club websites. Maybe starting out by show of hands, how many of you have a club website of some type currently for your club, whether it's through Kiwanis, whether it's through Portal Buzz or another third party? Okay, a good portion of you do. But I see that some folks maybe don't have their hands raised, and so maybe you don't have a web presence or an internet presence for your club. And what we want to hopefully provide to you is information on how we can provide you a good website resource that you can use, something that's easy and is good looking, is fairly advanced, and talk about some of the features and creative things that you can do with the website itself. So before we kind of start talking about the club and district websites, many of you may have noticed that in August of this year, Kiwanis International changed its public website, kiwanis.org, to look different. It was structured different. The branding was different. And I bring this up because the Kiwanis.org website currently is built on the very same platform that we provide the club and district websites as well. And so it's good to mention that because we hope that you'll feel that if it's good enough for the organization to use for their public website, that it's good enough for clubs and districts to kind of leverage as part of that. And so our website and the club and district websites are built upon the WordPress platform, which is a very robust and very large presence in the website provider space as part of that. And some of the things we like about WordPress and why we've kind of settled on that is, especially with the Kiwanis.org website, is you can search for things easier. The search tools are easier used on the Kiwanis.org website through WordPress. It's more secure. It's more stable. It has a cleaner design. We can stay abreast with kind of modern design, parameters as part of what we, how we structure our website. And it's just simpler. I'm sure many of you, as you've been in Kiwanis in the past, you've gone to prior versions of the Kiwanis.org website, and there's a lot of information out there. It's like drinking from a fire hose. And so any way that we can make the design of the Kiwanis.org website simpler, easier to find things, easier to read, both for members and individuals that are, just coming to the website as visitors without any knowledge of Kiwanis, we want to make the website easy and accessible for them as part of that. So having said that, again, we're currently offering, Kiwanis has offered a free club website platform for clubs, districts, and foundations. We started that program probably maybe 3 to 5 years ago or so. So it's been in practice for a while and has really been gaining momentum over that period of time. We're up to about 900, somewhere between 900 and 1,000 clubs, districts, and foundations that have signed on to use the WordPress sites that we offer. And just to talk a little bit about why we decided to do this, we want to kind of take the heavy lifting off of clubs when they're trying to figure out their website. So we want to be able to provide them with, something that looks good. Obviously, the point of having a web presence or an internet presence, first and foremost, is attract new members. If you have individuals that are joining or are interested in asking about the club, they're going to go to a club's website, and that's probably the first impression they're going to get of the club itself. And so it's important that the web presence that they have is clean and attractive and is informative as well. So always, what we're creating has a membership aspect in mind. That's very important. Most important, or maybe a top priority for clubs, is cost. The websites that we offer through Kiwanis International to clubs are free of cost. They don't cost a club anything to maintain or sign up for, and so there's no better price than free. We want to take away or decrease the heavy lift again of using some of the features of the website. And so we're leveraging tools that are already out there, whether it be through Google Calendar or Facebook, familiar integrations that you may be using in other forums. We want to leverage those and kind of integrate them in so that we don't have to recreate the wheel in training you or training clubs. We want to improve our service to members. Obviously, member dues has been a large topic of conversation over the last year and will continue to be a topic of conversation this year. And we want members to know that there's value in the dues dollars that they're paying. And one way we can do that is provide a service like this that's easy for clubs to use, but that has no cost to members. And so we think that will help clubs with an understanding of somehow of how their dues dollars are used. And then again, we just want to simplify the web administration. We want to make it easier for clubs to utilize so that they can spend more time doing the important things, not having to constantly maintain their website. We want them to be able to spend time on serving their communities and helping children around them. So just a little bit about what it is. Obviously, it's a branded website. We have templates that are already established for clubs. So if you're a club that has very little web design experience, we're providing a website platform that you can come in, and with just some basic self-led training, you'll be able to go in and create a website that's engaging and that's informative as part of that. And again, the whole point of doing this is to be able to further the mission of what your club is doing within its community. And then again, the whole point of this is to service Kiwanis clubs, districts, and foundations. One of the things we'll talk about a little later about some third-party platforms that provide web resources to you is that they have other customers. They have other customer bases, and so the enhancements and the features that they offer are spread out amongst all those individuals. They have to take all that feedback. Well, for the technology that Kiwanis International offers, Kiwanians are our sole demographic. They're our sole customer base. And so the only feedback that we're really taking in is Kiwanians. We don't have to worry about other clients or customers as part of that. Probably asking, what are some of the key features, right off the bat? What are some of the things that, why should I consider if my clubs look in the market for a club website? What are some of those features that we can expect? And so I'll just put some of those up on screen. I don't have to go through all of them, but these are all features that you would expect in a modern and up-to-date web platform. Obviously, people are accessing websites on various devices, and so your website should be able to scale accordingly to what device they're looking at it on. Branding and logos are very important. So that allows you to have a consistent presence and look on there. There's great functionality as part of it as well. You can accept payments of different types through there, Google Calendar integration, Facebook feeds, low maintenance, we've already talked about. Secure, that's an important thing, obviously, right? You want to make sure that your site is secure so that nefarious bad actors out there don't get onto your site and take it over and do inappropriate things with that. And so we maintain a level of security that we think is very is very appropriate for these products, and things we think that that will provide you with the comfort of knowing that your websites are protected as part of that. Training is important, obviously education. We have self-led training, and we also have district trainers. So when districts come on board, they have to select a district trainer, and so you should have somebody in your district, or more than just one, that might be helping you with that. So and so these are some of the features that we kind of see as part of that. Some of those things that we can look at just top list and say, this is what you get right out of the bat with the Kiwanis websites as part of that. So a little bit about just kind of the pragmatic aspect of it. Who runs it? Obviously you all are volunteers. You have lives outside of Kiwanis, as well as the roles that you play in Kiwanis. And you probably don't have a lot of time, or your other members don't have a lot of time to spend maintaining a website. Well, the biggest part that your clubs will play in maintaining your website is providing content for your website, putting up, again, engaging and notable content about your club, whether it be about service that you're doing, donation opportunities, project information, communication about your club. Your role really primarily is going to be content based, and then KI handles all kind of the heavy lifting, kind of the meat and potatoes sort of thing. We'll spin the site up for you. If you request a site, we provide, again, both training online and information to the district trainers, and then we maintain the infrastructure and security. That's an important thing. A lot of times if you're having to administer everything on your site, you have to deal with, constant upgrades and updates that are happening as part of that. And in this opportunity, KI is going to do all that for you. If there's an upgrade or an update that needs to be done, or an optimization that needs to be done to the sites, we'll do that for everybody. And again, you all can kind of focus on the content creation part of it itself. So just want to, again, give you a little look at some of the features, so you can kind of get a hands-on idea of those things. We have form integration, and that can be used for getting membership interest as part of that. Many clubs are putting contact or an interest form on their page, so that member individuals in their communities that maybe are interested in joining Kiwanis or finding out more can simply sign up and have that generate a notice to your membership team so that they can follow up as part of that. And so certainly an aspect of what you can put on there. Put donation and event forms on there. So if your club sells holiday wreaths maybe out in your community, you can set up an order form for folks to go on and purchase something like that. You can you can create delivery options as well, different discounts and things like that. If you have an event, let's say you have a dinner celebration going on in your community for Fireman of the Year or something like that, and you want to sell tickets to it, you can set up an event form and take payment for that as well. And so lots of creative things you can do from a donation and event standpoint. We'll talk a little bit about the fundraising and donation aspect here in a little bit. Social media, obviously, that's where a good majority of communication with people is happening now, whether it be through Facebook or X, or through even LinkedIn or things like that, Instagram. And so Facebook, we have baked in Facebook integration that you can link your club's Facebook page with and show it right there on the club's website, and it will dynamically update as you post things as part of that. And so it's one of the nice features. You can maintain a club calendar on there. So if you want to be able to show the public when you have certain events going on with your club or the district, you can show that information as part of that. And that's all maintained through a link to Google Calendar. And so if you use Google products in other aspects of your life, you're probably familiar with Google Calendar, and it works seamlessly through that. And so you can update that information and have it show directly on the club's website. So, we've talked a little bit about the websites themselves. Maybe you're already sold. If your club doesn't have a website currently and they're like, I'm sold. You said it was free. You said it was easy. Those are the two things I'm kind of looking for right now. That's terrific. Very easy to sign up for that. So first of all, once your club decides that they're going to request a Kiwanis website, club website, determine who the webmaster is going to be. Determine that one person who's gonna be the point person. That doesn't have to be the person that does everything for your website, but somebody that's going to kind of be there to be kind of the contact person and the starting individual for that. So decide who that's going to be. The webmaster is going to complete a site request form, which we'll show you here in just a second. So they're going to go through the form, the interest form that we've created, fill out a few fields, and submit that to us. Once they do that, we'll send a site creation email, normally within 48 hours. Obviously, as volume kind of ebbs and flows, that may take shorter or longer amount of time, but we really strive to get those turned around very quickly, no later than probably a 3 to 5 day turnaround time itself. So the 48 hours is sort of the average as part of that. District trainers will then contact the club just to kind of let them know that they're there and provide any help or resource as part of that. And then again, the district trainers are there as part of your support system. Although again, we do have self-led training modules that you can do at your own pace, and are very they're very informative from a standpoint of you can kind of take those and walk hand in hand with them and set your websites up as part of that. So having done all that, once you're ready to create or have a site spun up for you, you'll just go to the interest form that we have. If you have a phone, you can use your camera to take just focus on that QR code that's showing on the screen there, and it should give you a prompt to go to the interest form that we've created. Or you can go to the website address that we've listed down at the bottom, that bit.ly/Kiwanis website address. And that'll take you again to the interest form and will allow you to fill out that form real quick, and that'll start the process as part of that. So at this point, we're probably going to get into a little more varied conversation, and I'm sure that this is probably going to generate some more questions. So before we do that, I sort of want to take a minute to just kind of define some Kiwanis technology terms. So as we're talking tonight, I'm probably going to reference several different things, or you might reference a couple of different products. And so I just want to make sure we all kind of understand what it is that we're talking about as we reference each one. So obviously, we've just talked about the Kiwanis free club websites. That's the WordPress sites that we're currently offering clubs that are free of cost, easy to maintain, very robust, and again, up to date and current, easy to use. Kiwanis.org, which is the public website for the organization. So we've taken a look at that as well. And so that's just KI's website for both members and non-members alike. We'll talk a little bit about, or you may hear referenced, Kiwanis Connect. So Kiwanis Connect is the reporting website that allows club leaders to access the Kiwanis database and maintain club and member data. Many of you have probably been a club secretary or a club president, maybe a lieutenant governor, maybe obviously governor. We have some past governors with us as well. And so many of you are probably familiar with Kiwanis Connect. It's often referred to as the Secretary Dashboard. You might have called it years and years ago Kiwanis One. And so it's known by a lot of different names, but Kiwanis Connect is the reporting website that's available for free to any Kiwanis member or club leader. And so that's important to know. You might also hear us reference, or in future months, you might hear us talk about Kiwanis Engage. And Kiwanis Engage is a replacement for the Kiwanis Connect reporting site that we're currently building. It is built on the very common Salesforce platform. So any of you who have maybe used Salesforce in the past know that Salesforce is a pretty big player in the CRM, the customer relation management space. And so Salesforce is going to allow us to do a lot of neat and exciting things to allow members and clubs to engage more actively with the reporting site. And so that will be the replacement for Kiwanis Connect. We're developing that for an intended or anticipated release in 2024. But if you hear about Kiwanis Engage, just remember that Kiwanis Engage will be the future version of what you know as Kiwanis Connect, or the reporting site currently. And then finally, Portal Buzz is probably a item or a term that we'll talk about here for a good portion of time. Portal Buzz is a third-party platform that is provided by another company, Aplos Software, and that service has been available for probably maybe 10 to 12 years or so. It has partial integration with the Kiwanis database, so it does pass information back and forth. And if your club subscribes to Portal Buzz or has subscribed within at least the last 3 or 4 months, you probably have become aware that Portal Buzz is intending on closing its service come February of 2024. So Portal Buzz is kind of going to be what we talk about for probably the next 15 minutes or so, and probably some questions, maybe longer. That's certainly okay, but as questions come up as part of that. But before we go on, maybe just by show of hands, how many of you have clubs that are currently using Portal Buzz still? Okay, so a good number of you. Yeah, and so I imagine probably a big reason for you attending tonight is to find out more about Portal Buzz closing and what your club can do to kind of fill that gap that's going to occur. And so that's what we're going to talk about here for a little while as well. So again, just to kind of hit the high points, Portal Buzz is going to discontinue its service after February. Actually, that should be 28th or 29th. It is a leap year next year, February 29th of 2024. So that means March 1st, any club that has subscribed to Portal Buzz will no longer be able to access their Portal Buzz subscription come March 1st. Hopefully you all have received notification both from Portal Buzz and from Kiwanis stating that fact. Hopefully this isn't a big shock to you. I'm sure you're still probably digesting it and trying to figure it out, but hopefully you have heard this news before now. So the reason kind of why I bring this up and we're talking about it is this is a great time for clubs to go ahead and segue into a free Kiwanis Club website. You're probably in the market looking for an alternative to what you have through Portal Buzz, and we want to help you try to utilize the free technology that Kiwanis has for you to make up for those changes. So obviously Portal Buzz, one of probably its primary benefit is that you can do a lot of things under one roof. You can manage membership, you can communicate with members, but you also have a public website. Well, Kiwanis can offer you much of the same features through both the WordPress sites that we've talked about up till now, and also the reporting site that we have currently. So again, that's Kiwanis Connect currently as the reporting site, and then Kiwanis Engage later on in 2024. Used together, the WordPress sites and the reporting sites we believe you can achieve a lot of the functionality that you currently have, or will be able to achieve it to replace Portal Buzz as part of that. And one of the best things about the Kiwanis technology is that we're going to continue to enhance that. We've, even since the WordPress club websites have launched, we've added features, added integrations as part of that with the reporting site, and then especially with Kiwanis Engage, when it launches, we will be continually enhancing and improving that as part of that. One of the pieces of feedback I've heard from folks about Portal Buzz over the last years is that they liked the service, but it didn't get updated very often. It was kind of out of date. They, they weren't adding features as part of that. We want you to know that the technology we create for Kiwanis members is going to continually grow. It's going to continually expand. Just want to stop and say, if you're a club that is a Portal Buzz subscriber, no matter what decision you make for your website resource, we want you to make sure that you at least provision for getting all of your forms and assets off of your Portal Buzz site before it closes on February 29th. There's two ways to do that. I've indicated on the screen here. You can simply email Portal Buzz at support@portalbuzz.com and ask them for a download of all your files, and they'll send it to you in a zipped file so that you can put it in whatever storage method that you'd like. They have also added an actual function on your documents page of your Portal Buzz subscription. I think it says export all. And if you click that, that will also download that information on there from there. So again, no matter where you go, whether you sign up for a Kiwanis website or whether you go through another third party or something like that, make sure you get that information off of Portal Buzz before it expires, because come March 1st, that information is likely going to be inaccessible by you. So certainly something that you want to make sure of. So I'm going to hit some common questions about the WordPress sites, and they kind of might dovetail with some questions you have about some of the features you have in Portal Buzz. And then after these common questions, we'll stop and maybe take some questions, because I'm sure there's specific things that you all want to know about. So one of the questions we often get is, can we have our own domain name? My club's name is Kiwanis Club of Main Street.org. Can I still use Kiwanis Club of Main Street.org? Well, you certainly can. So all you need to do is to make sure that you purchase or that you have registered that domain name for your club through a register service, whether that be through GoDaddy, through Amazon Web Services, some domain provisioning service, and then through your administrative access for that service, that you forward that domain to the website that we create for you. So if you have a Kiwanis website, if you sign up for a Kiwanis website and you have your own domain, you can still point that to there so that somebody can type in Kiwanis Club of Main Street.org and it takes you to your new WordPress site. So that's no problem, very easy to do. Can you install your own plugins? We've talked about some really great integrations that the WordPress sites have right out of the box that you don't have to sign up for. They just come to everybody that signed up for the WordPress sites. But you might look through there, you might have done some searching, or you might do some investigating and see that there are thousands of different plugins that WordPress uses. Can you install your own plugin? Unfortunately not. We do have a vetting process that we complete for plugins, and there's really a couple of main things that we look for. Obviously, security and performance considerations are a big thing. We don't want to introduce a plugin which will be available to everybody that has a Kiwanis website, Kiwanis WordPress website. We don't want to introduce a plugin that then is going to crash or doesn't work the way it's supposed to for everybody. So we have to be very deliberate about the plugins that we create. Also, because of the structure of our WordPress instance, which is a multi-site tenant, meaning that Kiwanis is kind of the foundation, and then we spin up sites from our single instance. Not all plugins work or play nicely with those types of tenants, and so we have to be, again, very strategic and deliberate about the plugins that we go ahead and integrate and roll out to everybody. Having said that, we're always looking at different ones that will provide solutions that are common for your clubs, and so again, we're always looking to improve and enhance as part of that and make the websites more functional for you. 2 more questions, and then we'll open up for discussion. Can you have more than one administrator or editor on your WordPress site if you sign up for the Kiwanis sites? You definitely can. Obviously, the webmaster, that point of contact that fills out the interest form, they're going to be the primary person that's set up with access right away. But as soon as that's done, that individual can go into the administrative dashboard and they can invite other users to sign up and give them specific permissions, whether it be editor, whether it be administrator, different levels as part of that. So it doesn't have to stay with one person, and that's not a good practice. You should kind of have some redundancies with who has access to your website. You want to be careful about it, mindful, make sure that everybody knows what they're doing and how they're doing it, but definitely don't put all your eggs in one basket as part of that. And then finally, a common question we get is there a limit to the amount of files or storage that we have with our Kiwanis WordPress sites? So the storage that we have, which we share amongst all of our club sites, it expands and contracts based upon what we need. So having said that, there's no limit that we state. There's no cap that you might hit for your club to store files on there. With that being said, we do ask clubs to partner with us to make sure that we're using the space responsibly. If we have everybody go and put their 200 movie library on their club website, that's probably going to create performance issues for everybody. And so we really ask for you to be deliberate about that. And as more people come on, some of those policies may change, but for right now, there's no limit. And again, if you're responsible, if clubs are responsible and they are mindful about what they post, I don't think that we'll run into that sort of issue on that piece itself. So I know I threw a lot of information at you right there. So I do definitely want to take a couple of moments and see what kind of specific questions that y'all have. And then depending on how much of that time we use, I've got a few more pieces of information, but really I want to make sure that we answer your Portal Buzz questions or just your general questions about the WordPress site. So I don't know if you want to maybe raise a hand if you have a question, and then I'll call upon folks as they
Bryce, we can help you with that. If you want to go ahead, if you want to go ahead and take off your background.
Sure.
For those of you that were with us during the last couple weeks, Tom Castonzo is with us, and Bryce, he's actually been answering a lot of questions for you. So the IT manager from Kiwanis International is also here. So you really have the cream of the crop with us tonight to go through things. And I know he's been answering a lot of questions. So I see, Tom, if you see any that, we will make sure that you get this chat as well. We'll make sure you have all that there. We'll get that. I know he's posted some documentation for setting up the feeds. Tom, is there anything there that we didn't get right to?
Yeah, like I just saw, let's see, Lynn asked what is the data export import plan from Portalbuzz to Connect? So Portalbuzz being a third-party private company, we do not have access to their data model. In other words, they don't have the feature for us to directly import your Portalbuzz site into our WordPress site. So that is a limitation of their platform and not ours. So there's a few strategies that you can take. One is, you can ask Portalbuzz through their FAQs. You can request that all of your site data gets exported for you into a folder. So that would be all of your images, all of your pages, etc. And then from there, you can rebuild your site on the WordPress site from there. That is the way that I would recommend doing it. Now, for some reason, if they're unresponsive or if they're unresponsive and they can't or won't do that for you, there are tools out there that will suck your website, will crawl your website and download all of your images and everything into a folder on your local computer. It's basically the same thing Portalbuzz would be doing for you. But you could do it on your own. So that would be the second option if you cannot get Portalbuzz. And I haven't heard any problems with Portalbuzz not fulfilling their commitment there. I'm just saying if something, and that's what I'm recommending we all do, but if that doesn't work, there are other options. And if you find yourself in a pickle there, just let Bryce know and we can work to get you set up with a tool that will help you do that.
Thank you, Tom. I really appreciate that. My only other question is when you say we do the export, we get the data, and to rebuild it ourselves, is that a manual process then of entering data into Connect?
So Connect, let's be sure we have these terms that I understand what you're referring to by Connect. So
okay, I don't know if I've got it right. Portalbuzz is going to be gone. Today available is this product called Kiwanis Connect, and future will be the Salesforce platform. I'm real familiar with Salesforce. So is Connect a database like Portalbuzz is?
So Connect is okay. So I know what you're asking. So Kiwanis Connect is a term that is generically used to refer to the login page to our member management, our Kiwanis member management tools.
Okay.
So that's what Kiwanis Connect is. That replaces a lot of the member management tools that Portalbuzz offered. So I think that's the place you would want to go. Now, Portalbuzz also offered a free website as part of their tools, and the free club website fulfills that in spades over what Portalbuzz offered. So you have the free website through the free club website program that Bryce is talking about. And for all club management, updating roster, member information, paying bills, etc., that's done in what's being referred to here as Kiwanis Connect, which I'll put the URL for it in chat. So you all have it, and you all have access to Kiwanis Connect. Now, if you've never logged in there before, but you're in your members, though, we have your data in our database, and all you have to do is set up your password with log in with your email that we have on file for you, and then you'll be able to get in if you haven't been in there before. And so you can tell all your members who haven't updated their profile, maybe they've updated their profile only in Portalbuzz, they could do that now in Kiwanis Connect for free. Okay.
And
Thank you.
Lynn, just to emphasize on that, again, there's nothing that a club needs to do to get that information into Kiwanis Connect.
Okay.
Kiwanis Connect is directly dialed into the Kiwanis database. That's the database of record, and so that's where Portalbuzz is getting its information from.
Okay.
So whether Portalbuzz is there or not, Kiwanis Connect is always available and is hooked up directly to Kiwanis's database because it's ours. It's your user interface into the Kiwanis database. So there's nothing that needs done to get your membership over into that information. So
Thank you very much.
I did notice just a question about how we're getting this messaging out to Kiwanians. So obviously, if we have a list of Portalbuzz subscribers, and so we're communicating with them. If you're a subscriber, you should be expecting to see another communication from us coming here very soon, and it'll talk a lot about the same things that we've talked about here. But yeah, we definitely don't want to leave those clubs kind of hanging and out there by themselves. We want to make sure that they know that we're there to help them and answer their questions. And so if your club is a Portalbuzz subscriber, you should be seeing that. And as Hope mentioned on there, we are certainly communicating with the district leaders as well, so that they are getting that that word out also. So did I see another?
There was a question about what a plugin is.
Oh, sure. Yep. Always something that I have to remember that, not everybody works with these things all day long. So a plugin is basically an integration, or it's a tool that can be connected to your website that allows a feature of some kind to work right there within your website itself. So let's say, for example, we have a Facebook feed plugin. Well, what that plugin does, it allows your Facebook feed to integrate into your Kiwanis WordPress website so that the feed shows directly on your web page. And so that plugin is creating kind of a bridge between one service and another as part of that. So again, Facebook feed plugin is an example of that. The forms plugin that we use is also an example of that allows you to create different forms. And so those are tools that have been created by third parties or other companies to work with WordPress so that you don't have to go multiple places. You can just work directly in your site, and all of that works together as part of that. So hopefully that explains that term plugin, but you're right, always good for us to make sure that everybody knows kind of the nomenclature we're using as part of that.
Is there a plugin for YouTube?
Absolutely. So the editor, the WordPress editor allows you to import and embed all kinds of media from Vimeo, from YouTube, PDFs, et cetera, et cetera. It's pretty, yes. So absolutely YouTube, and also a lot of other sites, media sites.
Let's see here. What's the best way to send emails to our members? We're currently using PortalBuzz for that functionality.
Sure. So obviously that is one of the kind of the native pieces that PortalBuzz has, is you were able to have a list of members on there, and you could email individuals directly from PortalBuzz, in mass as part of that. Kiwanis Connect currently doesn't have a feature that's built into it directly. Kiwanis Engage will definitely have the ability for you to mass communicate with your members, and at the district level, they'll be able to do that to certain extents as well. And so Kiwanis Engage will have that ability. If you need a method in the meantime, there are a lot of third-party, non-associated programs that you can use, and a lot of clubs even use that now instead of a lot of PortalBuzz subscribers use it, even though they can do it through PortalBuzz. They use services like Constant Contact, maybe MailChimp. There's a fairly robust platform that has a free version called Brevo, Brevo, that I've heard folks use before. And each of those has different features. A lot of them have kind of a design piece to them so that you can design a newsletter and then blow it out to your members through there and everything. And so that might be a good option for you to use until Kiwanis Engage comes along. But again, it's our intent for when Kiwanis Engage launches for you to be able to do lots of different things under one place. And because the membership information is already there, you'll be able to email folks directly from that and communicate with them that way. So it's a very common question. Glad you brought it up.
Emily would like to know how we can use the sign up features.
Sure.
For our service projects.
Sure. I assume that probably has to do with the forums itself. So if you have a sign up for particular events, maybe it's not something that you're selling tickets to. Maybe it's just a volunteer sign up. The Gravity Forms feature that we offer. Gravity Forms is just the provider of the form integration that we have. Those forms can be used for lots of different things, and volunteer signups definitely one of them. It can be as simple as just taking individuals' names and contact information to sign up for an event. You can create almost like an inventory of different times or services for folks to sign up for, so that people can choose, maybe a time slot that they want to sign up for, or a different service they want to, sign up for as part of that. So you can do a lot of creative things through those forms, whether it be an event management piece, or whether it just be a sign up, you know, a service project sign up, or a meeting sign up or something like that. So definitely, if you once you get, you know, your Kiwanis website, go in there and just start playing around. We do have saved templates from other clubs that have created forms that you can kind of launch or jump off from that standpoint as well. So lots of creative freedom that you can do through those.
We had a question come in through the question and answers. Does the new membership application online already has some of the boxes checked? We have a woman joining and the man's already checked. Can it might be just
Oh,
something
I
for
see.
someone to look at.
Sure. I mean, you can certainly indicate whether there's a default answer within those certain fields themselves, and you know, you can allow overriding as part of that as well. So certainly in your form controls, you can indicate how you want those forms to behave or whatnot. So absolutely. Now I assume that they're talking about a form that they create for the website.
No,
but,
it sounds like it's let me go back to her question here. Cindy, can you unmute yourself? And I just want to make sure that we're talking about a form on your website, or is it a form on the Kiwanis International website?
It's on the Kiwanis website, and it's woman, a man is checked. It says that they're in the forestry industry. There's several things checked. Because a new member just started to fill it out and called me, and I went online and looked at the form, and it is checked on the site.
And Cindy, is this the fillable PDF application that we have online? Is this,
Yeah,
is
I
that
think
the one
so.
we're talking about? Okay.
Yep.
All right. I've made myself a note to reach out to the appropriate staff so that we can get that taken care of. So yes, for that PDF, you know, obviously it should start kind of from a blank slate,
Right.
so that you just fill out that information.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So, yeah, sure, certainly.
So we do have a couple questions in there that have asked if we're recording this. Yes, we're being recorded. And we will make sure that you get the recording. It'll take me a couple of days to get it downloaded and cleaned up. As much as I clean it up, as I've always tell people, I'm not an expert at this, so I will learn to take some of the front out and some of the back out, and the rest of it you get to see. I don't get rid of the ums or the ahs or anything else you do. It's as live as it gets there. And let's see here. We will also get you a copy of the chat window. We'll get all that information there as well. A cost for registering a website. Bryce.
The cost to register the Kiwanis Club website on WordPress is free, zero amount. So it costs you nothing to sign up for it. So, and that's always, I have a gentleman that I attend church with, and his name is Jim, and he says, my name is Jimmy, go ahead and gimme. If it's free, it's for me. So that's what he says. Free is the best price. And so we don't charge anything at all for those. Again, we want that to be a value add that you have through your dues dollars. So we'll hope you'll take advantage of that part of it. So no cost there, but you might have a cost associated with registering your domain. So again, like I talked about, if you have KiwanisClubOfMainStreet.org as your specific domain that you've registered, there might be an annual cost to that. And that's somewhat usually minimal. So, you know, I think it's anywhere from $15 to $20 maybe annually. So, but certainly the WordPress sites, there won't be a cost associated with it.
In this, the club websites that we've been talking about, like that's actually part of your dues. So what you pay for in your dues is one of the things that's offered is this website.
Yep.
Let's see here if there's anything else in there. But I know that when I first started working on my own club's website, now we have someone else that manages it. It was very simple. I mean, there's stuff there. It tells you what to do. It works it out. Yeah, you know, I would go back and look at it once in a while, make sure it didn't look crazy. But I have found that it's from the person that's doing it now, who's a new member, said that it's very easy to put together, and she's found it one of the easiest ones that she's done out of all the groups that she's involved with. So
I noticed somebody brought up kind of, you know, the timeline itself for, again, we've talked about several different platforms, talked about obviously the WordPress sites. We've talked about Portal Buzz, which will close in February of 2024. We've talked about the current reporting site, Kiwanis Connect, but also Kiwanis Engage, which is the future one. What are the timelines for that? Well, again, as we stated, Portal Buzz will close February 29th of 2024. Kiwanis Connect, which is again the current reporting site, is accessible now. It's been accessible for years, and so you have the ability, if you're a club secretary or club president or a district officer or even a member, you have the ability to go into Kiwanis Connect, and depending on your role within the club or the district, you'll have different permission sets that you can go in there and maintain information, whether that's just for yourself as a member. If you're a club officer, you'll be able to go in and maintain membership for your members and the club information. And then at the district level, you can do that. So that's there right now. There's no wait as part of that, and that'll be available on February 29th. Again, Kiwanis Engage. I don't think I'll be speaking out of turn by saying that Kiwanis Engage will not be ready to go live by February 29th. And so there will be a period of time that you won't be able, we won't have Kiwanis Engage and all of its neat features that we're going to offer. Those won't be available right away. We're looking at probably the second half of the 2024 year. So probably late summer, early fall, and those timelines, kind of change, but we're working at breakneck speed to get that launched as part of it. So, so again, there will be a gap between, Portal Buzz's closure and this enhanced reporting site that we have in Kiwanis Engage. But I would say, again, we're here to support you. So if you're having a hard time trying to figure out how to fill some of those gaps, reach out to us, and we can work together to try to suggest things that will, allow you to get through that time until Engage launches as part of it. So.
And I know Tom answered the question about district trainers. Your district office should have the name of your district trainer as well. Bryce can also connect you with the list of your district trainers, but most districts have a trainer that can help you with that. Along the way, I do know that a lot of the self-study stuff that's out there is great. And I just wound up making sure that I had both sites available, and that was there. Don has a question. How will the generic club web addresses bubble up on web searches?
I think the questions probably has to do with SEO or search engine optimization. I might rely on Tom a little bit if he can answer that question. Tom, have you seen kind of a degradation in search engine abilities as part of that?
No, not at all. So Bryce threw out an acronym there. SEO, search engine optimization. So search engines are these little bots, little robots that crawl the internet and try to understand what a website is all about. They do this behind the scenes. Your website doesn't even know what's happening. They look to the website as just a user, then they start crawling and clicking on things and trying to understand what your website is. And based on how you structure that, your website will either help Google figure that out or not be very helpful in helping them figure that out. So what you want to do with any website, no matter what website it is you want to make sure that the content on your website is rich and it's relevant. So you want to have text on your page that explains whatever that page is about, and it should. We have documentation on SEO, and you can find it on the wiki site, wiki.site.kiwanis.org. I'll put a link in it as well about some just tips on search engine optimization. Basically, you want your website to be as informative and helpful as possible. And so you want to have a lot of text. You want to have images with titles that explains what that image is. So if someone is disabled and they can't see really well, they have readers that will read a website and explain what is on the screen. So basically ADA compliance. So there's things you want to do to just make your website look very valuable. Now, once you do that, Google is going to give your website a score. No one knows what the algorithm is. They change it all the time, but that's how they rank websites. So when you search for a Kiwanis club in a location, if you're wondering, well, why does this site come up above mine, or why is my site above this one? It all has to do with how Google has ranked your site. And it's ranked on criteria of the value and the richness of your content on your website.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit of, that's the best explanation I can give about it, really. Just, use common sense, with your pages. Make the page names. The other thing that's important to remember, and a tip I'll give, is make sure that your page names reflect whatever the content is in your page. So, if you have, about our club is your page name, then you should be talking about your club, where your club is located, what your club does, what communities it serves. These are the types of things that Google loves, because now Google knows, okay, this club is in this location in, let's say, St. Joseph area, and they serve Benton Harbor across the river. They serve, a pretty wide area, and they work with the high schools, with the key clubs, and all of that stuff. Google just loves to ingest all of that. So when then someone searches for those types of terms or similar terms, Google will look at your site and say, hey, this site looks like it would be a good choice to return in the search results. So just common sense. If you're not sure and you want one of us to look at your site and give it a review, we'd be happy to do that. But I'm also going to put in a link for search engine optimization that would be helpful. That's your best. That's how you get your site up higher in the search rankings.
Wonderful. Great news. Great information. So it is now 9:02. And so that we can respect everybody's time here and our Bryce's time with us. And thanks to Tom for jumping on as well. I know that both of them have worked a lot on this, and you know Tom from AI. So you'll see his programs that we've done. We have recorded this, and I will do that as well as the chat for everyone. Once that is ready to go, I will email it to you for everyone that has registered for the program, and you will get that as well. And then we'll also put it on the Michigan District of Kiwanis website, or I'm sorry, Facebook, Michigan District Kiwanis YouTube page. See, I've got too many of them there. And then I will also put it on my Facebook pages as well. So with that, I will thank everybody for being with us. Bryce, thank you very much for being with us. We'll see you next week. Tom, thank you for jumping in again. Very valuable information. It's great to see all the questions in there. And Bob, if you didn't register, I will put you, for those that didn't register, I will put in a email so that you can get on our website, or on our web, or I should say our distribution list. What I do every week is, if you just go to the website, tinyurl.com, Kiwanis LT, if you register on that, you will get a weekly reminder of the upcoming meeting. And then I use that as well to send the links to these documents and these recordings. So it's out there. And again, we post it as much as we can. And if you can share it within your districts, please do so. I will be sending an email out in the next week or so to all the executive directors, the district secretaries, and ask them to help promote that as well, because we've got some great information and some great programs coming up. So with that, we will call it a night. Thanks everybody for being with us.
Well done. Thank you,
So,
Sue, for putting
thanks
this
everybody.
Take care.